Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 624 Mount Hood Street here in Oregon City. Describe everything in general as if you're standing in the road facing the front of the home. Which from what I can tell here is kind of the side opposite of where the kind of garage driveway is. Although, you know what? I apologize. Well, anyway, I'm going on the vent here. This is facing out the same side that your driveway and garage goes out to. I think I'm forgetting which street is which here. And we're going to check the overall condition, or at least attempt to. Sanitary sewer line. Overall condition and serviceability of it. Got water running. Really hoping this is going to work out. I was just in the crawl space. There is unfortunately no clean out access in there. Well, that's typically see that setup. Just teeing on the bottom. Okay, I gotta clean some cobwebs up here, but anyway, I do have water running. We're going to zero out at the base of the vent, and off we will go. You got a couple back-to-back 90-degree turns in the crawl space that I'm a little concerned may stop us up. And the tricky part with this house here is that, you know, if the roof vent doesn't work, for instance, a lot of people start asking if the toilet hole is going to be a better option. In this case, I don't think it's going to be. The configuration in the crawl space between the toilet and the vent comes down right next to the toilet line. It'll be a little bit shorter run, but almost the same configuration. All right, looks like I'm heading towards the, I think, well, it looks to me like the front of the house anyway. It's where we're heading right now is towards the side of the home where the crawl space hatches are. Got two hatches on either side of the doorway over there. I guess technically that might be the back of the home. Alright, there's our first drop. And the line's going to switch over to cast iron here as we make our way down this vertical drop. It's already done that. Still 4-inch diameter. As long as we don't run into too many more turns here, we might make it. We'll see. All right, into concrete pipe now, also 4-inch diameter. And at this point, we should be on the outside of the home now. Hey, Keone?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. Can I have you, or one of you guys, just go in there and just keep flushing the toilet?
Yep.
Let it fill all the way, flush it. I'll stomp on the roof when I'm done.
Okay.
Thanks, man. Alrighty, that right there appears to be our main lateral connection as far as I can tell here. Alright, we're going to let the line drain out here for a minute. There's certainly a junction here. You can see how the pipe opening there is oval shaped. My camera is upside down at the moment. And once you drop into there, it starts telling off a different direction. So this appears to be the main. We're going to go locate to see where we are just to verify we don't have some kind of party line or something of that nature, which I have seen before in these older parts of Oregon City. So anyway, and as far as flow goes, you know, the line has reasonable flow. The pipe has stayed completely in grade, which is amazing and a little bit of a miracle considering how old this is. It's the condition of the concrete pipe I'm most concerned about thus far, and potentially the cast iron. We'll see how everything looks once the line's drained out. Alrighty, located the camera head right in the middle of the road, thank goodness. That's where we wanted to find the camera. I just bumped my camera. My foot counter may not count back properly, but yeah, it kind of wigged the camera out. Anyway, where I'm sitting right now, is this Mount Hood right here, Mount Hood Street? So the line goes out to Mount Hood Street. So as you're standing on Mount Hood facing the house, I'm going to kind of describe things in that orientation. We drop into the vent right over top the bathroom. The line runs toward what I believe is the back of the house, also the side of the home with the crawl space hatches. Before the line gets and goes through that back wall, it turns and goes through the wall of the house that faces out to Mount Hood. You know, approximately, I'm guesstimating here a little bit, probably about 5 to 8 feet or maybe something like that before hitting that corner, and it shoots on out. So anyhow, with the twists and turns, the awkwardness of this one today, you know, it's not what I'm going to go and map out every inch of. I will save that for anyone who needs to do repairs on it at some point. The line does a couple twists and turns as it makes its way out here. My diagram is probably going to be a little oversimplified, just so you know. Anyway, as it relates to the pipe here, the line has good slope and grade. My concern is that I've gone past a couple joints already that show a little bit of dirt sticking through them. The big concern with concrete pipe especially is the pipe joints wearing out, which will happen on concrete pipe whether you want it to or not. They're usually grouted shut, and that grout wears out over time. So as this line currently sits, it's older, it's in rougher condition, but it's certainly functioning. It's very clean. There's no buildup in it. There's no standing water or anything of the sort. But that's also leading to my next suggestion here. After 13 years of doing this and 25,000 inspections, all the repairs and drain cleaning, everything I've done over the years, the last thing I want to see someone do is let the line get so far worn out that you lose the ability to do a trenchless epoxy liner on this. This would be, as far as I can tell, unless there's something about the turns or configuration that would prevent you from doing it, that's something I would recommend looking into, if not now, the not too distant future. That's mostly to help ensure that the line does not get to a point where you have to dig, which will be, generally it will be significantly more expensive, probably 2 to 3 times the cost of an epoxy liner. So it's one of those things where it behooves you nowadays to get ahead of these things. You don't want to let them wear out completely. What ends up happening, especially in concrete pipe, it's the most predictable. The joints wear out. They start allowing groundwater and dirt to seep through, and that erodes the support out from underneath the sewer line, called hydro erosion. It starts sucking the dirt right through the sewer line that's supporting the pipe. And then you get progressive settling. So as it sits right now, none of that has happened. As long as this line's been here, I don't think that's a process that's all of a sudden going to aggressively occur out of nowhere, but it's something to definitely be aware of and be mindful of. As you can see there, line has good flow all the way to the main lateral. The cast iron too is also showing some pitting. Both pipe materials are on the rougher side. If you were to be doing something like an epoxy liner, this is one of those houses, just the age and the condition of all the pipe materials. It's not a line I would piecemeal out. I would be doing all the cast iron main line and concrete at the same time. A lot of that cast iron's on the interior of the home. There's going to be, granted, some amount of it on the outside. Most of the outside pipe is concrete. But I would suggest looking into that process of epoxy lining, at least the exterior concrete pipe, the stuff that's underground and very awkward and expensive to get to, especially in the road. So kind of, I don't know if you can see it here. I'll see if I can bend my camera far enough. If you can see right in front of that truck there, you can see how there's kind of two different colors of asphalt. There's a line going across the road. You've got the lighter side and the darker side. Just past that little dividing line there, there is a green T marking that, excuse me, that marks where the line connects to the main. I was getting around 8 feet or so deep. It's an awkward line to locate because of the angle, but I got a pretty consistent depth between about 7 foot 10 inches and about 8 foot 3 inches. So, and if you're able to do a liner on this thing, it will require you install at least an interior cleanout access to do that, which is pretty easy peasy on this house. Everything from that point forward, unless you need another clean out for the sake of the turns in the line, is a trenchless repair. You're not going to be trenching 8-9 feet deep into the roadway there and spending that kind of money. So as we sit here today, the line has more than adequate. It has good flow of the main. That rougher pipe condition makes the line a little more prone to buildup occurring and blockages, especially if the line's abused. If treated properly, like this line appears to be, it's conveying things from point A to point B just fine. There is not a speck of debris buildup anywhere in it, nor do I see blockage evidence anywhere, and I would not expect to see that on a line as this thing looks right now. So most of my concerns about getting it updated is so you can take advantage of a much cheaper repair process, at least typically it is, and bolster the lineup so you don't have to do a much more awkward and expensive repair down the road. But the line is functioning properly at this time as it sits. You know, and I say functioning properly under the guise that you are treating the line correctly, especially these older lines that are rougher. They're just more prone to build up when the line is abused with wipes, paper towels, flushable wipes, things like that. So keeping it to folded toilet paper, you know, human waste, water, the stuff that's supposed to go down your line, this thing is humming along just fine as it sits. If not updated now, I would be rescoping this about every 1 to 2 years to monitor it until you're ready to do a liner. That way you can catch it at the right time, or you at least don't let it wear out to the point where you lose the ability to do an epoxy liner on it.